Hello, sixth grade, and welcome back. Today we are going to move into volume, right? So we started talking about perimeter, okay? And we said perimeter means the distance around an object, okay? Then we went into area. And when we were talking about area, we're really talking about the space. I'm going to use the words, I'm going to use on top of an object. Okay? And if we're talking about perimeter or we're talking about area, one of the biggest things to understand is that we are talking about really two-dimensional objects, right? So like this sheet of paper. If I'm trying to find the perimeter of this sheet of paper, I start in this corner and I go around the outside and I measure until I get back to where I started, right? That's the perimeter, distance around the outside, kind of like running around a track, right? Or like the mile that you probably have coming up really soon since it's getting nice out. Area is different. Area does not talk about the area around the outside, right? Area talks about the space where the words are actually written on the piece of paper, the space in the mid, the space on top of the paper, okay? So the key thing to remember with perimeter and with area, right? On this sheet of paper, there is a length and there is a width, right? But there is not, at least not to speak of, if you want to get technical, you could maybe measure that. But to speak of, there's not really a height. There's not really a height going up and down on the sheet of paper, okay? So today, when we talk about volume, we are talking about a different object, right? So volume, if you look at your packet, you would see that volume is the amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure. The amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure. Okay? And probably the best example that I can think of in the classroom that you probably see just about every day is a Kleenex box, right? So I have a Kleenex box, and unlike the piece of paper, this Kleenex box has, I guess it's this side, it has a length, right? And it has a width, but it also, unlike the paper, does have a height where you could physically put things inside of it, right? So when we talk about volume, that's the difference between volume, area, and perimeter. Now, when it comes to memorizing the formula, honestly, students tend to catch on to finding the volume even a little faster. So if you try to find the volume of a rectangular prism, you look on the bottom of your packet, and I really encourage you, I'm giving you the packet, but just like in our traditional instruction, where you can put these things in your notebook, you are more than welcome to put these in like your math journal and stuff as well. So key concept says the volume of a rectangular prism is the product. Remember, product is the answer to a multiplication problem, so we're multiplying. Product of its length, width, and height. Okay? So volume is the same as length times width times height. Okay? So if you were, and then the other thing with volume, right? So perimeter, we said perimeter was just around the outside, so we didn't do anything with it. We just said if the dimensions were centimeters for perimeter, our label was just centimeters, right? If we were doing area, though, we said area is how many, like, this side by this side, right? Length by width. So we had to say centimeters squared because we were talking about two dimensions, length and width, okay? Perimeter, we're just talking about one dimension, going around the outside, okay? When we're talking about how many things can fit inside, we were talking about cubes that have a length and a width to them that fit inside, okay? When we talk about volume, we are talking about a cube. And I'll be honest, I'm not real good at drawing three-dimensional figures. Okay? But we're talking about a cube. Sorry, my screen went blank. Hopefully that didn't hurt. But we're talking about a cube that has a length, a width, and a height. That's what we're talking about with volume. Okay? How many things that have a length, a width, and a height? So picture like, do you remember like those linking cubes that you probably used to play with? You'd link them together. How many of those could fit inside of here, right? It's one by one by one, okay? So when we label volume, we would label it centimeters cubed, because we're talking about three dimensions, length, width, height, okay? All right. So if you turn in your packet, to page 570 and you look at example number 1, it gives you, it says find the volume of a rectangular prism. Okay, so there is the volume of a rectangular prism there. It says it has a width of 12, a length of 10, and a height of 6. Or I guess technically it says a length of 12, a width of 10, and a height of 6. But remember, when we multiply, order doesn't matter if that's the only operation, right? So if you think you know how to do this all right, just pause this video right now. Go ahead and try it. Okay, so to solve number 1, hopefully you've paused and you've given it a shot. To solve number 1, you would literally just take 10 times 12 times 6. And when you multiply all three of those numbers together, you'd say, okay, 10 times 12 is 120. And then take 120 times 6, and you'd get 720. And your label would be centimeters cubed. Centimeters cubed. Okay? When you find the volume of each prism, okay, number 1, I'll let you try it on your own, but it says the length is 5, not number 1, sorry. Letter A under choose your method on the bottom of 570. Letter A says you have a length of 5, a height of 5, and a width of 5. Okay, so letter A, the answer should be, pause it if you want to try it yourself. The answer for A should be 125 inches cubed. And for B, again, pause it if you want to try it yourself. For B, the answer should be 240 feet cubed. 240 feet cubed. Okay. Let's see. So I think, based on what I see on the rest of your packet, I think I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there for the first day. Okay? So good luck exploring with volume. Congrats on finishing your quiz today on perimeter and area. We're filming this morning before class, but I'm hoping that we can do your quiz and then also make corrections in class today. So you can move on fresh with volume, of course, until the end of chapter test when it all comes back again. Okay? All right. We'll see you later. Thanks.